Hello there, I'm Don here with two Mi A2 Lite. This one on the left is running Android 8.1 Oreo, just factory reset it out of the box. And this one is Android 9.0 Pie with a lot of the updates applied to the specific individual applications like the Google Now launcher, whatnot. And the first thing I realized with these two phones is that the brightness is a little bit different. For example, this phone is at 51% brightness, okay, and if I set this phone to 51% brightness, 52, it's quite noticeably brighter on that phone. As you can see, even in the display settings, let me tone this down so that it's more even for the two. As you can see, there are some differences in the settings. For adaptive brightness, is just a toggle here, and on this is a separate menu. Advanced. The new phone has device theme, the old one does not have. And in the main menu, ignoring all these pop-ups, we get about phone at the top, where so on the new phone we get digital well-being, which is a new feature in Android Pie. And there is a new the new icons. If we go to about device for both system, as you can see, updated to Android 8.1 Oreo. This is still far away from getting Pie. This one is on to Android 9. This was on January security patch. So the left phone is on Oreo on the August 2018 patch. This one is on Pie. On the lock screen, there's already a notice of differences, not in the bottom half, but rather in the top half. The size of the time is different. The top here is the same. Swipe up, swipe up, swipe up. And home screen is different. The relocation of the search widget, the introduction of the calendar and temperature widget. Swipe left, there's a difference in the Google Now, the layout of the Google Now launcher, for the relocation of the Google navigation bar, among other UI elements. Swipe up, you can see a difference in the search app bar, but overall the icons are about the same. Phone. There is a slight difference in the transparency of the buttons. This one seems to be more transparent. But really, let's check out the camera application. Allow. Not much difference really. This 4K video introduction. 4K video is still not introduced into the Mi A2 Lite. Tops are at 1080p 30, same on the Android Oreo device. Interestingly, and the most fascinating is that the Mi A2 Lite gets an FM radio with Android 9.0 Pie. Also do note that this phone is fully set up for the user who uses this phone. This phone is yet to be set up for me, I'm the user for this phone. And let's go back to the settings, because that's really where the differences are really apparent. So let's start off with network and internet. So as you can see, they're about the same. The spacing of UI elements again are different. The VPN and airplane mode has been moved to advanced settings, as well as the introduction of private DNS. Connected device. So here on the left phone we have Bluetooth, cast, printing, USB, Chromebook. Here it's less elements, interestingly. Let's go back. Apps and notifications, about the same. Time spent apps, this part of digital well-being. And then if you go to advanced, we get default apps, emergency alerts, and special app access. App permissions are not carried forward to Oreo. Notifications is though, interestingly. App permissions is something like this. Let's go back to settings. Then let's go to battery. Again, differently. Something there is slightly different of UI elements. For example, here goes to its own activity, and there's a bit more information compared to here, which is blah 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 blah. So as you can see, there are differences. Let's go back and let's go to display. I already mentioned earlier about the brightness differences. Brightness level, night light, adaptive brightness, wallpaper, sleep, auto rotate, screen font size, display size, screensaver, ambient display device theme. And then let's go to sound. In Android 9.0, it introduces something called call volume, do not disturb, same, default alarm sound, and then the rest is just exactly the same. Handphone and audio effects, emergency alerts, vibrate on tap, touch vibration, touch sound, charging sounds, do not disturb. The handphone audio effects from there is now moved to the bottom. Handphone, alright. Under storage, this phone does not have an SD card, but if you press on that, only then do you have this, so it's about the same. Under security and location, again, it's different icons, but otherwise pretty similar. More settings on this device. Location, show password, but this one also has no advanced settings, for this one you have to enable, and then you can see it's about the same. App with usage access, screen pinning, trust agents, emergency, SIM card lock. SIM card lock is new, device admin, right? And the Mi services, the same. The digital wellbeing is new, as I've mentioned earlier. And then lastly, system. This is where multiple users become, as well as under switch multitasking. As you can see, multitasking changes as well. This one is, different. Here's the Android 8.1 style. If you go back, you search up gesture. There are new gestures with Android 9. Let's not forget that if you long press on the power button with Android Oreo, you only got two options, power off and restart. With this new one, you get a screenshot option. Alright guys, so that is Mi A2 Lite showcase, Android 8.1 Oreo versus Android 9.0 Pie.